On this episode of VTV, we learn more about the new rules that have been put in place in the library.
We also hear from an up-and-coming freshman volleyball star.
And we kick off Halloween week with a visit to Screemfest at Canopy Lake.
All that and more on this episode of VTV. Good morning, folks. My name is Cameron.
And I'm Alexandra. For many of us, the high school library is a place we go during our studies so we can access the computers and get our work done.
For others, it's a place we go to meet up with our friends and break up the monotony of the day.
Evidently, more students were going to hang out than to study last year, so new limits were placed on who could go and what they could do while they're there.
Those new rules caused some confusion at the start of this year, so Bonnie Durante sat down with Miss Van Twyver to get the story straight.
Some of us know about the library changes this year, but what most of us don't know is how the library actually works.
So students can access the library in a few different ways. One of the ways is they can wait till they get to study hall. Their study hall teacher can send 5 down without calling me, just automatically send 5 down on a pass. If they're afraid that the 5 on a pass, they won't make that, then they can come see me anytime during the day and get a pass directly from me. And that way they don't have to worry about not being one of the 5. If they have work to do, I will let them in here, always. Another way they can come down is if they're with an academic teacher. So say if their Spanish class has a group project, they can get a pass from that teacher to come down either during class or during their study. That works too. So we're really not technically limited to just 5 per study. It's more than that. It's just that's all the study teachers know that they can send down because they don't know how many resources I have available at that given time. Another thing that can happen is the study hall teacher can call me if there's more than 5 that have to come down, and on a case-by-case basis, if I have the space, I'll absolutely let them in. So worst case scenario, I may have to send some study kids back if they're looking for a computer and we don't have any available. But I also offer those students, if they really want to be down here and they have other work to do, just they can go to their locker, get another assignment and work quietly if they want a table space. The reason why I decided to change the library rules this year is because there's a lot of students who have activities after school, such as jobs, sports, any band, and they need a place to get their homework done or their projects done. They may not have the time after school to do it. So the fact that I've kept the library a place where people work ensures that they can have that opportunity to get it done.
Well, there you have it, Triton. Students are happier now that they know that more than 5 people can go to the library at a time. I'm Bonnie reporting to you on VTV.
Triton has a lot of gifted student athletes who have spent many years playing their sport and perfecting their skills.
The normal path for an athlete to play on one of Triton's varsity teams usually goes through a freshman team, followed by a JV, and finally varsity, if they're lucky.
In our next segment, Evelyn Pearson interviews an athlete who skipped the first 2 levels completely and debuted on the varsity volleyball team this year as a freshman.
My name's Nicole and I've been at Triton for 2 years. My freshman year has been fun. It's a little confusing and hard, but it's really fun so far. I just started volleyball this year. Some of my favorite parts about being on varsity is there's a lot of upperclassmen that I'm able to look up to, and I've met a lot of new friends, and it's been a really fun and different experience. It feels really good, but also surprising at the same time. You know, it's a lot harder than I expected it to be, but it's also really, really fun, so I'm really happy that I made varsity. One thing I think that helped me make varsity was doing a 4-day volleyball program at Danvers, and I think just really hard work at tryouts and really just working my hardest and showing what I could do is what paid off to make varsity. Some challenges I faced being a freshman on a varsity team is definitely my skill level. It's just the other girls have played for a longer time and I'm new to this sport, so it's definitely been a challenge to kind of keep up with their skills and everything.
I feel great actually because I was a freshman before and I know how it feels, so like to see upperclassmen like helping is great. Like now that I'm an upperclassman, I feel great that I can help out the freshmen.
I don't know, they kind of help you out too, like not just in volleyball, but like in general, like in life. Like they help you out because they've been there before.
Some advice I would give them is to plan before trying out for that sport. So maybe do like a clinic or something to get used to the sport if you've never played before. And also when you come to tryouts, be prepared to work hard and show the coaches that you can actually play the sport and that you're ready and you want to make the varsity team.
Congratulations to the volleyball team on a good season. The Vikings have a lot of young players that should be exciting to watch for the years to come.
Here's a quick montage by Abby McGee from one of the final matches of the season.
Got my money.
Halloween is a holiday that kids look forward to almost as much as Christmas.
I'd say it's a close number 2 for sure. And us older kids enjoy it just as much as the younger ones, but for different reasons.
It used to be all about the candy, but now we get just as much fun out of dressing up in crazy costumes and scaring the pants off our friends.
But how much do we know about the history of Halloween, where it started, and why? Here's Jace Mojica with the 411.
Hello everyone, my name is Jay Vikes and welcome to my pumpkin patch. See what I did there? Thank you so very much for stopping by and watching this video. We'll be going over the history of Halloween. So sit back, relax, open a package of candy corn. Let's get into this. Between fall and winter, plenty and paucity, life, death, candy and vegetables, Halloween is a time of celebration and superstition. It's thought to have originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, or in other words, basically, this holiday is older than my grandparents. I know, shocking. People would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off roaming ghosts. Ghosts or evil spirits would come back from their graves and haunt the living, but I assume that not all spirits wanted to steal your iPhone and scroll through your search history. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints and martyrs, thus creating the holiday All Saints' Day, incorporated with some of the traditions of Samhain, which is also similar to a Mexican tradition, Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. It's also a holiday celebrated on November 1st. Basically, they are the same thing. But instead of scaring off the dead, they worship the dead. The evening before was known as Hallows' Eve, and later, Halloween, which was switched to 31st of October. Don't ask why, because I don't know. Over the time, Halloween evolved into a secular, community-based event characterized by child-friendly activities such as trick-or-treating. Even though trick-or-treating can be kind of dangerous when you have these little 5-year-olds sticking their nasty claws in your face asking for candy. You don't give them your candy, they're asking for money. The Celts who lived 2,000 years ago in an area which is now an island where the land of Fimrun lives on, the United Kingdom and North France celebrated their new year on November 1st. This day marked the end of the summer and the harvest in the beginning of a dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death, which is obvious if you go and look back at any medieval movie such as Ironclad or Beowulf, you will see people are dropping dead in the snow. Celts believe that on the night before New Year, the boundary between worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. Some beliefs call it limbo, other beliefs call it the underworld, some beliefs just call it hell, and I personally call it my grandmother's house. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that ghosts and the dead returned to Earth. So why isn't my dog Skeleton coming back, huh? Now that we've gone over the history of Halloween and how it was formed, let's actually get into the statistics and where Halloween and trick-or-treating came from. So, in order for that to happen, we gotta move all the way to America. Those money-making idiots. The celebration of Halloween was extremely limited in colonial New England because of the rigid Protestant belief system there. Halloween was more common in Maryland and the southern colonies. The first celebrations included play parties, public events held to celebrate the harvest, where neighbors would share stories of the dead, tell each other's fortunes, dance, and sing. The 21st century is a little different now that we got killer clowns, Jake Paul their pans, and a bunch of 8-year-olds running around doing the dab like they think it was theirs. But in the middle of the 19th century, annual autumn festivals were common, but Halloween was not yet celebrated everywhere in the country. In the second half of the 19th century, America was flooded with new immigrants. These new immigrants helped to popularize the celebration of Halloween nationally. Borrowing from Irish and English traditions, Americans began to dress up in costumes and go to house asking for food or money, a practice that eventually became today's trick-or-treat. In the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than about ghost pranks and witchcraft. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both adults and children became the most common way to celebrate the day. Parties focused on games, food of the seasons, and festive costumes. By the 1920s and 30s, Halloween had become a more secular but community-centered holiday, with parades and town-wide Halloween parties as the featured entertainment. By the 1950s, Halloween had evolved into a holiday directly mainly at the young. Due to the high numbers of the 50s baby boom, parties moved from town civic centers to classrooms or home, where they could be more easily accommodated. But that didn't stop children from going nuts. Today, Americans spend an estimated $6 billion annually on Halloween, making it the country's second largest commercial holiday ever. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Jay Vikes, and thank you, and have a happy Halloween.
Screemfest at Canopy Lake Park in New Hampshire is one of those events you should definitely get to if you're into the spookier side of Halloween. Alyssa Stone went recently and came back with these highlights.
Excited? Wait, yes! Let's go.
Come with us and you will see. This our town of Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween. Everybody make a scene. Trick or treat.
My boyfriend, what the hell?
Everybody scream. This town of Halloween.
We're next and we just got the white go-karts. Yes. And we're like pumped.
I am the one hiding under your stairs. Fingers like snakes and spiders in my hair. This is Halloween.
No phones and driving.
Halloween, Halloween.
Ladies, how was your ride?
Awesome. It was very chill. I was sitting in my car.
In this town, don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise. This is Halloween.
Red and black.
It's slimy green.
Aren't you scared? Well, that's just fine. Say it once, say it twice. Take a chance and roll the dice. Ride with the moon in the dead of
Okay, we're at Untamed right now and we're next in line. How do you feel about this? Scared.
Flash and follow the trace.
I am the who and the clock who stare. I am the wind blowing through your hair.
I am the shadow on the moon at night, filling your dreams to the brim with fright.
You guys scared?
Yes! Yeah! They're scared. Yeah, I saw last time.
Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Tinderlumblings everywhere. Life's no fun without a good scare.
That's our job.
But we're not here in our town of Halloween.
In this town, don't we love it now? Everyone's waiting for the next surprise. Study Tin Jack might catch you in the back and
Scream like a bet you make it jump. Won't you please make way for a very special guy?
One and Jack is king of the pumpkin patch. Everyone hail to the pumpkin king. Now this is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween.
In this town we call home. Everyone hail to the pumpkin song.
Halloween, 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 Halloween.
day. Yeah. Right?
It was great.
It was a long
Scary,
day.
but great.
Yeah, it's all right.
Up next is a story about a girl who encounters a supernatural force on a hike one day that changes her forever.
Yeah, and not in a good way. Here is the imaginary one.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't even know her, no! Dude, stop. Honestly, you can't even, no, shut up. Who are you talking to? I'm not talking, what are you talking about? You were literally talking to someone right here. Look, I can't do this right now, okay? I'm just gonna go get some water. You want me to do that? Seriously? Are you sure that's, like, okay?
What are you writing in?
Can I see it? I'm gonna go get water. I think we should continue practice tomorrow. Oh, okay. I don't think this is a good time. Okay. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you need to back off. Seriously, God. Hey. Hey. So, you were talking to someone again? I don't know what you're talking about. Look, I don't talk to people, okay? The only person I talk to is you. You know I'm getting worried about you. Why can't you just tell me what's going on? Can you just, like, leave me alone? Where is it? Is that my book? Hey! No. Hey! Oh, give it back as soon as you tell me what's going on. Give it to me, Skylar. Ow! I'll tell you tonight. What? She erased it. No. swear I didn't do anything.
Why did you pay for that?
Brittany? You shouldn't have erased anything. Caused a big problem for Brittany. Why are you talking in the third person? Well, when little Brittany went to her aunt and uncle's camp many years ago, she went down a dark path in the middle of the night. She found me at Devil's Hollow. I had been so alone lately, I thought I'd had some fun. So, I followed her home. When she found out I was with her, I told her I would never leave her side. If I did, she would never see her family again. Ha! She told me you tried to get rid of me. That can't happen. You made Brittany very upset. Now, the only way to fix a problem is to get rid of what started it. What?
Well, that's it for us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of VTV. I'm Alexandra.
And I'm Cameron. Happy Halloween, everyone. Be safe.
Well, there's
And
a lot
like,
of...
you don't want to get run over.
Well, yeah, but that's what, like, sidewalks are for.
Let's do a test read. Okay. Entire section. Go ahead and test read. All right, so Cameron, start again from the top.
Hold on, let me put my hands in.
Test read.
Here's Jace Mojica with a 411. Does anyone know what a 411 is?
Well, that's old people stuff.
There's this kid in my neighborhood and he gets the cops called on him every year because he runs around the neighborhood chasing kids in a scary mask and a long metal pole.
Exciting.
Well,